Now it's time for us to take a look at some sex-linked genetic traits. These are traits that seem to appear more often in one sex than the other, normally males. In humans, there are 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes. 22 of these are called autosomes, and there's one pair of sex chromosomes. The sex chromosomes determine the sex of the individual. XX is a female, XY is a male. But if you look at the Y, it's much like an X with part of it missing. The missing section is an area on the Y chromosome that is missing alleles that are on the X chromosome. So it is possible that a pair of chromosomes that are XX might both have an allele for, say, the ability to see red, green color, while on the male, the XY would only have an allele on the X and there's nothing on the Y chromosome. So let's take a look at some possible genotypes that we could have. The first one is an XX with capital C, white, dominant. This would be a female. XX is a female with normal genes for seeing the red-green color. Next, we have a heterozygote female, white with a capital white C and a lowercase red c. The female with one gene for eye color and one gene for color blindness. These are called carriers because even though they're not colorblind, they carry the gene for it. Then we have a female that's with both X chromosomes having the colorblind gene on it. So this is the individual's homozygous recessive colorblind. So only the third one is a colorblind female. The first two are normal seeing females, but the heterozygote does carry the gene. If we look at the males, we have an XY. And the X in the first case has a normal gene for seeing red, green, and there's nothing on the Y. So this would be a non-colorblind male. But the next one has the gene for colorblind on the X, and again, nothing on the Y. So this male is colorblind, and there's only two options for males, colorblind or not colorblind. There's no heterozygous form, as there's no allele on the Y-axis. Whatever you have on the X is what you're going to get. Makes it more likely for the male to express this trait than a female. Now let's take a look at a couple Punnett squares along with this. So let's take a look at a cross between a homozygous normal female and a normal male. The symbol for a female is a circle with like a X below it. The symbol for the male is a circle with a arrow kind of going up. So cross between a female that's normal and a normal male. We put the gametes on the Punnett square, females on the top, normal, and the male on the side, and we'll get filling in the square. Of course, we get there are no colorblind genes in this group, so everybody's two normal males and two normal females. Another possibility is a heterozygote female and a normal male. So we have a carrier female, big C, little c, white C, red C, and a normal male, white C and the Y's. Putting those on the Punnett square and then filling them in, we get the top left, we get a normal homozygous dominant female. Top right, we get a heterozygous carrier female, just like the mother was. And in the lower, but she is normal, so we have two normal females. Lower left, we have a normal male. And then in the lower right, we have a colorblind male because it's little c and nothing. So we see you have a normal male and a normal female, a heterozygous carrier, and a colorblind male. One of the recessive alleles in the cross is still a 25% chance of colorblind male. That actually should be 50% chance of a colorblind male. No chance for a colorblind female. Let's take a look at the possible gametes from a heterocross and a colorblind male. So putting them on the Punnett square, we've got one gamete for the female is an X normal and the other is X colorblind, and for the male, it's the X colorblind and Y. We fill in the square, and we have a upper left, we have a carrier female, and upper right we have a colorblind female. First time we've seen that. Lower we have a normal male, and lower right we have a colorblind male. So we have one normal carrier female, one colorblind female, one normal male, and one colorblind male. From these crosses, you see there's much more likely for a male to express this trait, color blindness, as the male set of chromosomes, the Y, is lacking any alleles for normal or colorblind. So the sex-linked traits are more determined by the female than the male. Whatever the X is, it's what you're going to be. There's another sex-linked trait, male pattern baldness, that it works along the same line. So you see a lot more bald men than women, but occasionally you can see a early balding woman as well. But neither of these two traits is fatal. Unlike hemophilia, which is another sex-linked trait we'll look at in another presentation, which does have a fatal component to it.